Alright, well, this is not square at all. I don't even know if that's square, but you can see me, I hope it's in focus as well. I'm going to do this one a bit differently. I'm going to actually write down the points as I come up with them. And, hold on. It's basically about the movie The Matrix. I watched it last night. If you watch a lot of Andrew Tate content, you'll have heard of The Matrix, right? Sorry, this camera's doing my nutting. There we go. Right. The Matrix. Mate, this is a smart ass notebook, by the way. Out of Asda. I can't remember how much. I think it was like £4. I've named it Cultivating Greatness. I suggest you do this as well. It's just about everything that I do in life. From my mental to my physical. Like, I write down all my gym programs, even though it's more or less the same program every week. I'll show you an example here. Maybe I won't, if I can find one. Plan out my days here, just do general journaling as well. Where the fuck are my gym programs? There we go. So I write out my gym programs in there, write down my weights and everything. I think it's like a nice sort of habit that I'm into right now of just writing down pretty much whatever I'm thinking as well. Just having it constantly near me. I take it everywhere, take it to work, take it to training, take it to the gym. Every time I'm out, write something down, but that's off topic and that's for another video. I'm pretty sure I've already made a video about journaling, so I'll pop it up here. Just realised I've been uploaded for almost a year and I'm still broke as fuck with only 291 subscribers last time I checked. Let me just double check that. Apologies for this. Just thought I'd make the video a bit different because most of mine is just speaking to the camera at a certain point.
This video is going to be about...
Right, 291 subscribers. But I want to start getting out and about and stuff and recording videos while I'm not in the house, get a bit of a different background for you guys. But I want to do some work this afternoon and I'm here, so I'm going to do it. So the first point I want to raise about The Matrix is you have to watch it. That's the main thing I would recommend. If you've watched Andrew Tate on this podcast and stuff, he kind of explains the concept and you can understand the concept, but I think when you watch the movie, it kind of puts it more into depth than when you just hear him speak about it briefly. The whole sort of idea of the Matrix is that there's like a digital sort of simulation that everyone's living in, and they're basically told what to think, told how to act, what to do, when to do it, and it's very symbolic of what society is like now, with everyone trying to control the narrative of what is going on in your mind. And the key point that Andrew Tate kind of promotes is like to escape that slave mind of just doing whatever you're told or whatever it says in the news, just taking it by word of God or whatever you want to call it. And it's actually something that my dad passed down to me. I'm gonna write that down actually. So I never, like, obviously as a child growing up, you never really, a lot of time your dad or someone will talk to you and ingrain these lessons and stuff, but you never really take them at face value. When you're young, you just kind of like, oh, here we go. Like my dad was love doing that. Just whenever he's giving me a lift to training or whatnot, or we're driving somewhere, we're walking somewhere, we're just sitting in the house and he's like, I'm doing dishes or something, he's just coming and he's cooking or whatnot. He would talk to me about just random little lessons in life, which, to be honest, I'm glad he did, because a lot of them I still remember, because he obviously repeats a lot of them because of their immense value that they would provide with me, and I've used a lot of that. And I'll link that video up here as well. I don't know where the actual top of the screen is, probably here somewhere, of that video where I go across the lessons that my dad made. It's a fairly long one, so you might want to get some popcorn or a hot beverage of some sort. Let me just find how long it is. Here we go, lessons from dad. It's just under 20 minutes long, so listen, you can get a coffee down in that time, I'll tell you that for free. But the idea of not listening to everything that everyone says and trying to put your own perspective on everything, like, don't take everything at face value. Someone announces something in the news and they say, this person done X. Did they? That's not the full story though, is it? There's always more behind every story, and a lot of times, this is the lesson I want to get across about the Matrix, is people will just hear something and just believe it. They won't think anything further of it, and they'll live their life according to what other people tell them to do, and they try and live their life based off facts and figures. And it's something that's never actually worked for me before. And it's one thing that I want to show as an example is my whole gym story, like getting the physique. I'm a wee bit fluffy at the moment, you can kind of tell on my face, but it's because it's off season. I didn't adjust my diet properly, and I spoke a couple videos ago about how I took some time off from everything and just drank and ate shit for a couple of weeks. But that doesn't mean that within, like, I want to say by the end of the year, it's just towards the end of November now, I'll be back to where I want to be, lean wise, size wise, speed wise, mobility wise, everything, because I believe that I can. And that is one of the most important lessons that you'll ever learn in your life, is the fact that if you can almost convince yourself that you're going to do something, like in my mind I know I'm going to win the World Cup, I know I'm going to be the perfect athlete, well, not the perfect, like I'm going to be the best athlete on the park, I'm going to be the biggest rugby player, not the biggest, but I'll be powerful, I'll dominate collisions, I'll make the right passes, the right kicks, whatever it is. I know I'm going to get to that stage. And with my gym sort of journey, for me it was always like small little things of every time I do a rep, I'm like thinking about my muscles contracting and growing. I'm visualizing in my head as I'm lifting the weight that my muscles are minusculely tearing apart, and whenever I feed after this gym session, that protein's going directly to my muscles. Whenever I'm sore, that's why I love being sore from the gym, because I know everything I'm putting in my body is going there to recover my body. And every hour of sleep, every minute of sleep that I'm getting, my testosterone levels are increasing. That's how I believe my body works. Like, I don't like to take into consideration the facts and the figures and you need to do this, you need to do that. Of course it plays a role, but I feel like I make more progress when I think that when I truly believe within my core that I'm going to, like, my actions are going to provide something great for me. And that's what the whole idea of the Matrix is. You're told all these things, you're told that if you do this, you can't get this. If you get this, then you can't do that. Use another example with caffeine. It's kind of a discovery I've made recently is, for a long time I was too busy in YouTube and searching things, and people tell me, get off caffeine, you'll have more energy if you're caffeine free for a long time. And I've done it for a bit, and to be honest, the last few months when I've been I'll have a coffee every couple of days or whatnot, I just feel flat a lot of the time. And I realised now, I reflected back to my lockdown days where I was having 2 cups of coffee or something a day, maybe 3, and my productivity was through the roof. I was going out in the mornings, I was training, I was doing a high intensity cardio session, and then I was coming back to my house, I was doing a weight session, high intensity, I was eating a shit ton of food that was good for me, like healthy foods, and then I would go upstairs and I would work on the business that me and my friends were cultivating at the time, and I started making money online, which if you'd asked me that a few months before I'd done it, I was like, what the fuck, why would I do that? I don't know how to do that, but I'd done it because I felt productive all the time. That's what I like about the effects of caffeine, is you just feel ready to work. For me, I've always noticed that the days that I consume a lot of caffeine and I don't do anything, I can't sleep properly. And that's why I came off the caffeine, because I was like, I need to get my sleep right. But for me, the actual trick is, it's not so much the caffeine affects my sleep, it's the fact that I didn't use that energy to create something productive. I didn't use that tool to make me a better person. I didn't make maximum use out of my day. So now for me, if I know I'm gonna have a lazy day, maybe 1 day a week, I'm not gonna consume any caffeine, because I don't want to jeopardize my sleep and recovery for the next day of full go activity all the time. And it's that simple reflection that I had, and that belief that I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get this shit done. Shit, I never even explained the full concept of the Matrix. So it's basically, like I said, they're put in a world which doesn't actually exist. It's all a simulation, and they believe this and they believe that. They don't question anything, they just go on life. And then when you get out of the Matrix, you see that everything's just a lie, it's made up. Whatever you think and whatever you believe, it comes to fruition. Obviously it's hyper exaggerated in the movie, but it's very true of life. If you believe you can do something, you can do it. I mean, that's probably the main point of the video. If I believe that drinking that this is a glass of orange juice with a shot of ginger juice and a scoop of creatine in it, if I don't believe that this is going to be good for me, then it's not going to be good for me. If I don't believe that having an energy juice and a coffee in the morning is going to make me productive as fuck and I'm going to become rich from it and I'm going to become a great athlete and I'm going to dominate the world of rugby, then it's not going to happen. You need to almost like catch yourself in moments where you're about to do something, like you're about to go and scroll on Instagram, and you're about to sit and click and do something mindless. You need to learn how to catch yourself when you're doing that. I think this is how they want me to live. They create these platforms because they want me on the platform. They don't want me to make progress. They don't want me to become a masculine man. They don't want me to become dominant. They don't want me to become feared and in control of my life. And when I say they, I mean society and the government. They're all trying to control a narrative, and these social media companies, they want to keep everyone subdued, so they just listen to what they're told, and it's easier to control. Everyone becomes submissive. And that's the whole idea of getting out of the matrix, is so you're in a point where you cannot be manipulated fiscally or emotionally, mentally, physically by anything, because you believe that you are the greatest. And that's why I admire Andrew Tate so much, and this is why you need to watch The Matrix. Understand this concept that this whole life could even be fake. You're just in a simulation, so why are you believing everything that's been told to you? My dad we always took the piss out of him because he's like, oh, stop being so skeptical, stop being this, but he was right. You need to have this belief that you're on a path to greatness. You have to strive to escape what everyone believes. You need to create your own philosophy, and this is the kind of the idea of my life right now, and why I keep this journal and why I've kept other journals, why I read, why I educate myself, is because I want to get to a point where I cannot be manipulated by anybody. I want to be in a point where I am leading my own life according to my own philosophy with the people that I want around me. I want to be in control of my life, and that's not a control problem. It's a happiness problem. I don't want to be miserable and just following what everyone else tells me to do. I've done that for a while. I went to university, try to go the right path that they want you to do. In school, they either tell you, it's basically, if you're smart, go to uni, get a good job, you'll be fine. If you're stupid, then go to college, get a trade, and you'll be happy. That's all they want to teach you. They don't teach you about how to build businesses. They don't tell you how to dominate your mind, how to control your brain so that you can live fully and actually reach a potential that they don't talk to you about in school. Watch The Matrix. Think about every action you're doing. Think about all the decisions and your beliefs. Where do your beliefs come from? And if it seems a bit shady, it probably is a bit shady. Do what you think is right. If you're proved wrong, try another way that you think will work. Keep doing this and keep educating yourself on everything that you can think of to improve your life, your mental health, your masculinity, your physical stature, your physical abilities, your mental capacity, your mental abilities. Believe that you can do this and continue to strive for that day after day. And then you do it again the next day, and then the next day, and then again the next day. Get out of that mindset of doing what everyone else does, because there's a reason that most people will live their life working, come home, sit on their phone, eat shit food, scroll TikTok, scroll Instagram, go on Tinder, go on Hinge, doing this all day long, and then they do that again the next day, and then the next day, and then one day they go out, maybe then they go on a holiday, and all they do is drink and sit, scroll TikTok, take photos, and that's all life is for them. They're living in a simulation. Get out of that simulation. Realize that you are not a puppet to be controlled. You have to think for yourself. Create your own morals. Create your own belief system. Create your own philosophy. Become something better, something different. Different scares people. That's why they keep everyone in the same bracket. That's why these social media companies are doing so well, because people are falling for it. They don't think for themselves. They just do it mindlessly. And I'm not gonna sit in here and pretend that I've not fallen victim to any of this. I have. This is why I want to protect other people from falling into this trap, and I think it's definitely important to fully function, fully fulfilled, fully happy, fully self-efficacious life of knowing that you are doing things correctly and being something. That matters more than you think. Watch The Matrix, like the video. I'll see you in the next one.